Okay. Let's get some work done. What's up, fat boy? Welcome back, buddy. How you doing today? Main man, fat boy. Oh, thank you for the donut and the heart me. Thanks, buddy. Coming in here just setting fire to my passion, dude. That's what you're doing. Coming here making my day just that much better, aren't you? Is that what you're trying to do, huh? Trying to be a nice guy? Nice. I'll have to check it out after this stream. Shoot me a link. Make sure I remember. That's rad, dude. Did you end up getting those broadsides like you talked about? Sweet. Nice. Broadsides are fun. They're like one of my favorite models. Definitely one of my favorite models I've ever done. I wanted more, but gosh, they're expensive. Painfully expensive for one little guy. I have a whole battle line now. Some big shooters. Big shooter boys. That's rad though, buddy. I like Tau. Tau are some of the funnest models I've painted. It's really satisfying to do really clean work on them. Clean job. Ah. Got a piece of hair in my mouth. Brutal. But right on, dog. I'm just removing the oils from yesterday's oil wash. They've been on for about 24 hours and they are perfect. Nice, deep, and rich. Oops. Stay a while and listen. So yep, we're just gonna be removing the excess off of these guys for a minute. Shouldn't take too long. They aren't that big. Funny is the red really likes to stay on a lot more than the brown, it feels like. Tried edge highlighting for the first time. Nice, how'd it go? It's like my favorite thing. That's definitely a skill that takes practice. A lot of brush control. A lot of brush control. But yeah, dude. Edge highlighting those panels is awesome, especially doing oil paints in the recessed panel lines. Whew. Very satisfying. Oh, thank you for the likes, man. Much appreciated, dude. But yeah, edge highlighting is one of those things that you definitely have to stay patient, keep practicing. It's what separates a decent paint job to an amazing one, is that final edge highlight. Gotta be strategic about it too. Oh, thank you for liking the live, Bazooka. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the party. Patty's paint party. Yeah, that's what I really like about oil paints. If you've ever seen my stuff, you'll know that I'm really big on oil washes, because this step is really fun. You can just sit here and clean up all of the excess wash and place it exactly where you want it and remove it from where you don't. And it sets it up really nice to finish with some highlighting. Whether you dry brush or brush in your highlights, it's literally just so easy. after you do this step. So you can paint directly on oil paints. You can paint oil paints directly on acrylic. You can do oil only if you really want to give it a go. I've never painted oil only yet. I do want to try it though. But yeah, the important thing is if you start with one way of painting something, you got to maintain it. So we're not going to try anything new on this army. The next one though, we'll have fun, play around a little bit more. I do want to try some oil only painting, just to challenge my skills. But yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It'll look even better in an hour or two, hopefully. This is still a pretty rough stage. We're probably 60, 70% done. Just have to clean it up here and there. Make some more details pop out with some highlights. And then after that, it'll just be some blending and high detail, and it should be really fun. It's definitely getting there. It's getting somewhere. And there's where I want it to be. All right, that's good enough for that one. You can kind of tell the difference on the oil paints, right? How much depth it brings to the model with like very little work. That's what I really like about them. You don't really have to work too hard to get a really nice product out of it. Like this, I'm just mopping up all the excess real quick, and then I'll go back through with my Q-tip and just grab from the very high raised edges, you know? And that way it'll look really good. And I'll keep most of that in the shadows, which is the whole point of a wash. The more shadow you can add, the more your highlights will pop. So a lot of people will be like, hey, how do you do your highlights? Well, honestly, my highlights look like they look because of the amount of shadows I put in. So the more you can get more contrast out of your painting, the better it will read. What's nice about oils is they're kind of translucent almost. Like if you really thin them down enough, they come out really translucent, so you can change the whole tone of something just by hitting it with your oil paints. Which is really nice. Mop up some of that excess there. There we go. What I like them most for is getting like the really deep recesses. And then I'll hand paint in any shadows to blend them more. But yeah, that's how I like using my oil paints. And then when I'm happy with it, I'll hit it with a hair dryer for a minute. It'll kind of lock in the values, you know. So the whole name of the game is trying to really push the boundaries of your colors without devaluing the saturation. So trying to take your color from the very darkest dark that you can to the very lightest light without turning it completely black or completely white. It's kind of my take on the whole thing. So that guy's pretty good. Just have to do his weapon and stuff. So and this just helps to bring out my edge highlighting that I did previously. So just hitting these like I would a dry brush really helps to grab these back out, you know. Now of course dry brush this one more time with the same highlight, and so when I previously dry brushed it, I went pretty heavy handed. You know, really laid it on thick. So on this next pass, I'll go a little bit lighter, and that way all this wash will have tinted, and I'll have like a two-toned dry brush effect with very little work. You know? Which is pretty cool. It's pretty easy. I paint very lazily. Paint lazy, get cool effects. That's the whole idea. That's the name of the game. This guy's gonna have a lot of gold on him too. I think it'll be cool. Make him kind of the squad leader, I think. Yep, just removing this stuff. It's super fun. Oil paints are really easy, really nice. Give you a really quick effect with very little work. Alright, that's one more done. This guy's going to take quite a bit. Remove all this excess. Put a little too much, but that's okay. It'll all work out in the end. There we go. And I don't try and be like perfectly clean with my oil washes. Like I just try and let them go where they want to go, because it'll automatically kind of tint what I want dark and what I want normal and what I want brighter. It'll just kind of do that for me if I just kind of push it around and let it be where it wants to be. And then the spots where I want to make brighter, I just hit it one more time with a nice, either a dry or mildly wet Q-tip with mineral spirits, and boom, you got an easy, quick highlight. So it's almost like you're highlighting and washing at the same time. That's what's really fun about them. They're super cheap too. Do you come from Quebec? Quebec? No. I am from the States. I'm from Utah. Why? What's up? Is there a place in Quebec called Utah? I'm an American, so my geography is terrible. Sorry. Forgive me. Don't blame me. Blame my public education. Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. No, it's a little cheap. This is actually my oil palette I use. So it keeps my oils from drying out. But it's just kind of a standard little outlet or palette. Use it specifically for my oils so they don't all dry out. I mean, they still dry out. I'm gonna be honest, they always dry out, and I always have to add more. But that was the intent, is not to continually reload my oils, but I end up doing it anyways. So. Yeah, this is for my Age of Sigmar army. This is for my Sons of Bahamut. These are my little Gargants. But I do 40k. I have like 6 armies of 40k as well. Paying a lot of 40k. This is my very first realm of Age of Sigmar, and it's been really fun. These are all proxies of Sons of Bahamut because I didn't want to spend $800 for, 6 models. It's not right. Do you have some Warhammer models? What's your flavor? Oh, thank you for the follow. I've started my first army with GK like 3 days ago. Very excited to finish them. GK? Grey Knights? I got some Grey Knights, brother. I love Grey Knights. Especially if you're planning on playing them, their Gate of Affinity ability is amazing. I actually haven't painted my Grey Knights yet. Technically, they're half painted. They're all gray still. But yeah, I inherited the army from a friend of mine that recently passed away. So I'm going to do a memorial army for my Grey Knights. In Memoriam Matthew is what the army is going to have. It's going to have heraldry all saying that. I'm really excited to paint it, kind of display it. But yeah, the guy was a really good guy. But yeah, I played him, because I had him. And I swear, I don't know if he was up there changing my dice or wherever he is, but man, I was rolling rocks with that army. It was crazy. It was really fun. I'm trying my best to paint them, but I don't know. What can I do more on them? So really, it comes down to all of their like little gold pieces that you do, and the raised lettering on the shoulders, like making it really cool, very red. And then if you feel like the model is kind of bland, but you've tried your best, you can deepen the shadows and raise the highlights. But since you're painting gray, you got to be careful with that, or else it'll just kind of it'll start looking different. What you can also do is go really crazy on the basing. So you can go get a whole bunch of different basing materials and just go nuts, have fun with the bases. And then pick a color that's going to really make that gray kind of stand out more. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. He's a good dude, and I just felt honored being able to know him and be friends with him for the time I had, But yeah, that's such is life. Unfortunate thing. He was really young too. That's this crazy thing. He was like 29. Brutal. His heart just gave out. And he wasn't like a big dude or anything. It just decided it was done. Which is unfortunate, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know if you can check mine to tell me because I'm chasing for some tips. I don't want to make any publicity to my account, by the way. Okay, sure. I will go ahead and check it out right here on the low key. How about that? Is it on your account? Let's see if I can pull it up. Here we go. Those look fantastic. What are you talking about, dude? Those are insane. That's your first army? That's insane. What are you talking about? Those are like professionally done. Those are crazy. What are you talking about? One thing to make them pop a little bit more, if you do want just some constructive criticism, is in between the armor pieces, just make them extra black. I see on a couple of them you did that, and it looks really good. But dude, those are awesome. Yeah, your Castle and Crow is wild, dude. The only thing I would recommend is maybe getting some washes that match the like armor or the weapons and stuff, and try to push the value. So washes are here. I'll show you. So a wash is a super watered down paint product. You can buy, it's called a shade from Citadel. Maybe you know it from that term. But like, yeah, there. For instance, I need to take a hairdryer to all of these before I can really start painting them again. But get off of there. So like a wash, I'll show you what I mean. Let me grab a color here. Yeah, these are my oil washes too, so it takes even longer. Oh, welcome to the party. Thanks for the follow. Warhammer Yeti. My guy Warhammer Yeti. Welcome to the Patty party, dude. The Patty Paints party. The PPP. The PPPP. Patty Paints Party Patrol. Patrol? Sure. This is like the 10th day I've needed to change out this water. It's so bad. Okay, so a wash. This is a contrast paint. I like doing my washes with oil washes or contrast paints, but I'm gonna add like a ton of water to this, right? Like just a ton of water. And if you check out this rope here, I want to differentiate the rope specifically from the bone. So what I'll do is use this really watered down color here. And what'll happen is it'll tint the raised surface just a hair, but really what it'll do is it'll go into the recesses and really darken the recesses. That's what I really like about using washes. And the more you do this, the more back and forth you do, where you highlight the edges and then darken the shadows, and you just keep going back and forth like that, you can get some really awesome effects. So like you see like this bone in here, that wash wants to naturally go into the recesses. That's all a wash or a shade is called. Oh, Johnny, thank you for the heart maze. Welcome in. Welcome back. But yeah, that's a wash. My son used oil paint for Halloween decks, and I swear it took a week. Yeah, they do take a while to like dry. If you use oil paints like right out of the jar, generally they take forever to dry because it's a really thick layer of paint. But if you use a lot of mineral spirits, and you can also get an accelerant, and it helps to dry it faster. But Stiglet, welcome back. Sorry, I meant to say hi, buddy. Give me like 2 seconds, guys. Don't go anywhere. I have to replace this water. Do you see this water? It's literally evaporated out, or it's turned into blue paint at this point. I just used a shade for the first time, and it made the model look better, in my opinion. Dude, shades are amazing. They're so good. Oh, I see. It look very cool. I can't do that much on the Gray Knights because they only need Tyrian Blue. Yeah, an Agrax shade. Yeah, so you're using a shade. A shade is just a wash. That's all Agrax Earth shade is. Citadel calls their washes shades. So, yeah, you definitely have been using shades. But I would use Nuln Oil on your weapons, and I think you'll get a really cool effect. So Nuln Oil is one of the shades that's super popular in the industry, you know. All right, 2 seconds. I'm gonna be right back. Look at this. It's literally blue paint at this point. It's not even like water. And also, this is kind of like a pro tip. Get a giant Tupperware and then put a little glass Tupperware in it, and then you fill the big basin up, like this basin, with water and this one with water, and you do your first major rinse in the bigger one, and then you do your final like clean water rinse in this one, and so you can have all in kind of one. Where did you find models of my brother? Dude, they're everywhere, man. The hardest part for me is the gradient for the weapon because I don't have all the color that they used. Yeah, honestly, Nuln Oil will help really well. If you're doing the fire kind of thing, you can add a little bit of black to your red and do that at the end. And then at the very brightest point, add a little bit of white to your yellow until you get it to like maximum white. And then do the maximum white at the very, very, very edge. And you'll get like a really poppy kind of look. And then in the middle of the barrel, like where it's shooting out from, do like bright white. The electric sword, you only really, the nice thing about blue is all you really need for blue is you need black, you need blue, and then you need white, and you can make any shade of blue you want. So just work on mixing your blues until you get like a really nice gradient. Like take your normal blue, add a little bit of white, and then use it, and then add a little more white, and you just keep doing that until you bring up the gradient to where you want it, and then do very max white on your edges. And that's how you can get some really cool power swords. But I'll be right back, 10 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't have a power sword around me, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about with like this guy, with the weapon. So the idea with his very tip of his barrel is the very brightest, and technically the front portion is going to be the very brightest because that's where the light is coming from. I personally wouldn't call myself a pro painter, but I do get paid for commissions, and I do paint classes and paint tutorials. But I think we're all students. But yeah, like this is one of my mega gargants that I did recently. So, but yeah, so the whole idea of mini painting is always pushing the boundaries. You can never go wrong with adding more shadow and then adding more highlight, right? And if you really want your stuff to pop, you just have to practice pushing those limits as far as you can. That's like really the best advice I can give someone, is just like really maximize all the different values. I think we're gonna paint some faces. Faces sound like fun right now. I mean, it rarely sounds fun, but in this moment, I want to paint a face. Oh, thank you. And I'm really, I say this all the time, but I'm not, personally, I don't call myself like a talent-based painter, if that makes sense. I'm a technique-based painter, which means you can learn these techniques. I've just been doing this for 7-8 years now. So, and I was not this good for the longest time. I actually recently kind of leveled up my skill in the last year or two when I started to try different ways of painting and really challenging how I paint and forcing myself to make mistakes and learning it better. I had a question about the different types of paint at Citadel. Like, what is the difference between base paint, layer, contrast? Okay, great question. So, the whole difference between all of their paint range is the viscosity of their paint, right? So to go from the very lowest amount of moisture in a paint bottle, you're talking their dry brush line. Because the idea behind dry brushing is you're, taking a really soft brush like this one, and you're putting it into the paint and you're drying it off completely, and then you're going to the model. So then after dry brush is their base layer paint, which their base paint is arguably something like just a normal paint bottle. Between base paint and layer paint, that's basically what it is. And the idea with their base paint is that's what you're actually going to base coat your model in. And by base coat, I mean blocking in the foundational colors. So in a lot of the tutorials, you'll see like base with this one, and then use this contrast on it, and then use this dry brush for the edge highlight. You'll see a lot of those kind of paint tutorial videos with Citadel. So the next level up from base is layer, and the idea behind layer paints is that should be kind of the viscosity for making blends and to make wet blends or gradients of different colors. That's kind of the next level up. And then you have contrast paints, which are kind of it's a blend between a layer paint and a shade. What's up, buddy? What's up, Jax? Welcome in. So contrast paints are my favorite. From Citadel, I only use their technical paints and their contrast paints. I don't really use anything else that they provide. They have a really good product. I personally just like painting with Vallejo for most of my painting, like my blocking in colors, my basing colors, my final, my dry brush. I just use Vallejo for everything. But their contrast paints are just out of this world nice. I really like their contrast paints. So the nice thing about contrast paints is that it works as a layer paint and a shade paint all in one. So you can get really cool effects from them. So that's what a contrast is. And then the most amount of liquid to paint ratio is going to be your shades from Citadel. So, and their shades are really good too. A lot of people really love their shades. I'm not a big fan of using shades. I use oil washes for the most part, and if I do need to shade something like I am right now, I just use contrast paints because I feel more comfortable with them. I feel like I can control them a little bit more. But right now I'm using contrast paints in my favorite way, which is to retint something a different color. So right now I'm turning this white bone colored rope into kind of a warm brown rope color to differentiate it. So I don't use contrast on mine because I don't know how to use them on the Grey Knights, but I have Frostheart contrast. Yes, so that one would probably be really good to try on your swords. The one thing though is the way professional painters make their power swords really pop is by edge highlighting them and just kind of knowing how metallic paints or non-metal metallic painting works, which is how color and light actually reflects on a surface, not just using a metallic paint. I do a little bit of it, but I really only do it for power swords. But that's how they get those like really crisp, crackly looking like power weapon vibes, you know? So yeah. But yeah, contrast paint's definitely one of my favorite tools in the toolbox. Recently did a video on them. Oh, thank you for the follow. Oh, thank you for the roses. With a heart signal and some roses. Thank you so much, buddy. So, and I also, I'm going to be doing a paint class in February, my first paint class. I'm setting it up right now. I've done paint classes in person before, but never online, so I'm setting up an online one with some, with a friend of mine that prints minis. So we'll be all painting the same mini. So if you're interested in that, check out my link in my bio. But yeah, seems cool. So I wanted to share a gift to give you back the tips you gave me. Of course, I really appreciate it, man. And honestly, you're giving me the gift of just fun conversation. I love answering questions, so that's why I do it. It's fun to hang out with cool people like you, man. Talk about some Warhammer, and I love some Grey Knights. Okay, I feel like they're super underrated, and it's nice knowing that someone else appreciates the gray. You know, Grey Knights are one of a kind in my opinion, and like really cool lore, like super cool lore. They don't get the appreciation they deserve, in my opinion. For me, Grey Knights are the best chapter because the Emperor created them individually. It's true. So the Grey Knights do not have a traditional Primarch or Gene Seed, and they were created in secret just to murder chaos. And if anyone learns of the Grey Knights, they kill everyone that could possibly know, including they've been known to blow up an entire planet just from one person finding out, which is just... And what's cooler than being a part of a secret order like that, you know? Not much, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though, man. Yep, that's it. Well, in Imperium, like the mass majority of people don't even know about Chaos. Like it's a secret. Like the Emperor doesn't want anyone to know about Chaos, so their mission is like imperative to keep the silence. You know, it's a big psyop. To even speak of Chaos is heresy, which is pretty cool. Like the common person has no idea. Like they might have heard, like it's like the equivalent of like when we talk about UFOs. They're like, that's not real. And someone would be like, yeah, man, no, my sister, she was on Cadia, dude, before it fell, and she said she saw some chaos. I'm like, no, she didn't, dude. So they just wipe the moment. Yeah, exactly. Everybody gonna die. Death Guard all day. It's heresy, but the Night Lord look hella cool. Yeah. Well, Johnny, what are you doing, huh? How are you doing today? And Death Guard all the way, too. I love my top 3 armies are my Astra Militarum, because I think there's nothing cooler than just the average Joe fighting demons and just trying their best to survive the chaos, right? So I love my Astra Militarum, but then I love my Death Guard. I love being a follower of Nurgle, and then my Grey Knights are just... Also, just playing Grey Knights is super fun. Like the ability to like bring them off the board at the end of your opponent's turn and then deep strike them again is so good. So good. Next day, Inquisition at your door looking for you. Yeah. I am Inquisitor. Patty. I've heard word of chaos. The speakings of chaos in your household, brother. You will atone for this sin on a penitent legion. You shall be going to the front lines. Bum, bum. Never played any games, but I'm very excited to play them against a Corn Army. Oh, definitely, dude. I actually played my Grey Knights against my friend who has Custodes. And I can't remember what the bit of lore is about it, but the idea is it talks about if the Emperor needed to be forced to stay on the throne against his will, then the Grey Knights would make that happen. Or kill the Emperor, potentially. It's a part of the Grey Knights' like deep secret nonsense. And so the idea is the Custodes would protect the Emperor. So there is a lore-driven battle there, which is really cool. Kind of made a lot of people mad, though. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was like the something. I can't remember what it's called. Doing good. Finished my first model today. It's rough work, but that's part of the learning process. Nice, dude. I love hearing that. Sadly, Custodes will wipe them. Plus the Sisters of Battle. That's the thing. I don't know, man. Like, the Custodes, for one thing, wouldn't know that they're coming, and they can teleport right in. Like, it depends on how many Grey Knights there are, but the Grey Knights use, like, teleporting magic and chaos to their advantage. So, I don't know, man. I do think if the Grey Knights were just like another, like if they were just Ultramarines or something, then they would get their asses handed to them by the Custodes. But I think the Grey Knights would give them a run for their money, personally. But that's just like my opinion, man. It's definitely reasonable to say that the Custodes would win. They are like the perfect beings, apparently. Like, they're next to the Primarchs for good reason. We're just painting ropes. That's what we're doing today. Just painting some ropes. Custodes are the strongest after Primarch, so I think Grey Knights would get beat. I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying that I think with proper, proper planning, I think the Grey Knights would give them a pretty decent battle. I don't think the Grey Knights would just go in there randomly, and they would teleport right into the Golden Throne just randomly. I don't think the Custodes know about the Grey Knights. Like, that's how secretive the Grey Knights are. So it's a force that they're not ready to fight. That would be my only, like, just the level of surprise is the only way that they could possibly beat the Custodes. So it really depends on how adept they are at planning. And what's his face that helped create this Custodes, the Emperor's right hand. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. But he would definitely know how to probably beat him. Dude, how boring would it be to be a Custode, though? The other thing is the Custodes don't really fight. Like, how well are their skills? Like, how up to date are they at fighting? They literally stood vigil. They stand for hundreds and hundreds of years at a time. They just stand. They don't move. They're like statues. Yeah, the ability to surprise the enemy, exactly, But, Kaldor shows up. He is the Doomslayer of 40k. Yeah. It would be definitely a good duel in Kaldor. The one thing is, if the Sisters of Silence were there, it would totally turn off the Grey Knight's abilities. I don't know if that's like lore, but like in the game it does. So if they had the Sisters of Silence there, brutal. It'd be pretty one-sided pretty quick. Yeah, I don't think in a 1v1, no Sisters involved, the Grey Knight stands a chance. That's true. Yeah. Like, they would get wrecked. You know? But the fact that Kaldor defeated a Demon Prince is crazy. That is wild. Because Demon Princes are just insanely powerful. Didn't the Grey Knights have problems fighting the Space Wolves? I don't know. I actually haven't heard about that. I didn't know that they fought the Space Wolves. Again, this is a new army of mine, so I'm still learning all the lore bits. So please enlighten me. I love hearing about my Grey Knights. I've heard about that, but I didn't saw any video about that. Yeah, pretty sure there are a minor war between the two factions. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look into that because that sounds really cool. I think my skeleton horde is just about dead. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it to see if maybe I can get a little more out of it. Also, a syringe, having a syringe around helps a ton with painting, especially with an airbrush. The problem about GK versus Custodians is that Grey Knights are only 1k against 10k. Yeah. Yeah, I need to look into that. I would love to see a war against a Grey Knight versus an Adeptus Astartes faction. Called the Months of Shame. All right, I'll have to check that out. That sounds really cool. Right now I'm reading the Origins of Sigmar book. It's insane. The Legend of Sigmar, I think is what it's called. So good so far. Like, I'm actually reading it. That's the crazy part. I usually listen to all my audiobooks, but this one I was like, nah, we gonna read it. This is what I love so much about contrast paints, is like you can take something that looks good and just make it look better. And then when I hit that with the dry brush, game over. Game over, guys. So like Grey Knights, man, let's see. I don't know why the Custodians would interfere, because the Emperor give the text about him standing outside the throne. Oh. Grey Knights tried to kill citizens exposed to chaos. And the Space Wolves didn't like that. Well, that's, yeah. Terminus Decree. That is what it is. It's called the Terminus Decree. Yo, what's up, big boat, little bath? What's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Welcome back in. We just removed all the oil wash, and now we're just adding a couple extra washes to darken a couple different spots a little bit more before we start getting to highlighting. Using a little Skeleton Horde contrast paint, one of my favorite paints of all time. So, welcome in, brother. Welcome in. Just talking about the Grey Knights right now, too. Big fan of the Grey Knights. Big fan. One army I really want them to update is the World Bears. They need some love. Yes. Same with the Grey Knights. Like, I know we're talking a lot about the Grey Knights right now, but those two factions have the oldest lines. Like, I really don't, like, I'm not trying to talk smack on Leagues of Votann, right? But they had no business, like, releasing a whole nother faction when they have, like, some really outdated models for a lot of these armies. You know? But the thing is, it sells more, you know, a new faction sells more revenue, so updating old factions, not so much. I mean, it does to a certain extent if you're like updating, like making a Primarch or something, but yeah. The Grey Knights need some love. Same with the World Bears. They're working on some ancient models. Well, the update is that, yeah. I don't think the Drukhari have had an update for. Oh, also true, dude. Their models look, and they don't. It's not like they look bad. Don't get me wrong. They don't look bad. They just don't look as cool as the new stuff. You know. They really don't. Like my first army was Tau. One of the main reasons because it looked so cool, and it was like the newest faction at the time. When I started getting into Warhammer, it was like the newest line. One of the newest lines. I think they also had Death Guard out. I think Death Guard was the newest line at the time. The Death Guard are rad. Like the Death Guard hands down, I think has the best modeling out of all the armies. They really like coming out with Space Marine stuff too, because so many people have so many different chapters. You know? I'm sure they make a lot of profit just on the Space Marines alone. But yeah, one of the armies I think definitely needs a little bit of love is the Grey Knights, World Bears, Drukhari. The twins do look really cool too. Yeah, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to say the Death Guard models are the least lazy models they've ever come out with. Because every single one of them is like absolutely 100% unique. Like, sure, do I have models that are the same? Sure, but there's like 15 different variants of Space Marines out of like a five or I think it's 7 Space Marines. You can make like 15 different ones. Like that amount of like repurposing is crazy. And honestly, don't you think they should be coming out with more? Like, if Magic the Gathering can do like 10 box release sets every other month, it feels like, then why can't we get a new model? I know that they have to like press it and stuff, but they should have like the ability by now to be able to really start pumping out some stuff. I'm gonna be right back. I need to go get some water. My throat's fighting me right now. Ugh. Okay. I am back, my friends. My friends, I am back. Y'all want to see how I make this flesh really pop? I'm gonna make this flesh pop here. Get some fleshy tones out here. Do a little of that. We'll do a little of this guy too. Okay, here we go. Boom. Add a little bit of, where's the other skin tone I like to use? This one? Yeah. Okay. Start maxing out these, this flesh tone here, making it something interesting. Oofta, way too dark, or way too light right out of the gate. Don't want that. We want to ease into it. Ease into it. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I love my Death Guard models though. You can really like tell that whoever made them had like a very distinct love for the Death Guard. Like whoever the team, the designer, you can feel it with the Death Guard, the like love and intention that they gave them, which is really cool. Now I just need that for like Grey Knights, and Astra Militarum has some pretty good support, I'm not gonna lie. I can't argue, like all of their vehicles are really cool. Very original. You know? Trying to slowly build up these layers. Most important thing when you're doing gradients is to not cover up your previous gradient. You want to build on it, but leave a little bit behind, specifically where the shadow was, right? And I'm starting on the feet so I can kind of get a feel for what I want the rest of the model to look like, you know? So the feet aren't that important. No one's going to really stare at the feet too much. So it's a good spot to kind of practice the values that you're going to be using for the rest of the model. Every model has a foot, you know? You can always practice on the foot. I paint with mainly the side of my brush too. Building up that gradient now. Really bringing it up now. What did I miss? The part where he whips it out? Whips what out? Hmm? 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 What's up, Gwen? Just trying to understand what you want. What do you mean? What do you mean? Huh?
What did you say? What? You say text message?
What are you going on about? What's up, Shinavari? Welcome in. How are you doing today? Just vibing? Me too. Me too.
Baby, if you sent me a text, I didn't get it. What?
Just come be frank. My dear. What can I help you with? Just playing a little Minecraft? Nice. Minecraft is always a good time, especially with friends. Doing a mod pack or are you doing a base game? I'm a big fan of the mods. Personally. That's just me though. I think the mods for Minecraft are insanely good. Playing Solo World, making a Magma Q farm. Nice. Slightly modded because I needed a map mod because I'm so bad at directions. It starts with the map mod. Before you know it, you're teleporting all the place. You know? Vanilla-ish, yeah. Vanilla-ish is a good time still, though. I haven't played it in years. I know they've done like a ton of updates and stuff and made it like really, really interesting. Spent a whole 2 years playing with over 200 mods in a single mod pack my friend made. Got a little burnt out. They do get... You know, you start to realize most of the mod packs are pretty much the same thing, just with different textures. That's for sure. Ooh. Thank you so much, Apple Fritter, for the roses. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it's getting there. This is going to be kind of the end goal. I went with more of a warm tone for this guy, though. But yeah. It's been airbrush, oil wash, and now we're just working on really making it pop, you know? But thank you. I appreciate that. It's pretty easy. Pretty fun. Do not mind painting skin. There's a definite trick to it, and once you learn the trick, it's pretty easy. You know? Trick is to make the muscles really pop out. Been a speed paint machine, starting to try acrylics now. Nice. I really like contrast paints from Citadel. Those are the speed paints that I use. I use them for, I specifically use them for washes, like really controlled washes. Is what my favorite use of speed paints and contrast paints are. But you can't get away from a nice brush style acrylic painting, you know? Speed paints are really nice though. It's all about building up layers of gradient, maximizing your shadow, and by maximizing your shadow, it makes your highlights really pop, so you don't even have to highlight like a ton, you know? Oh, yeah, contrast paints, yeah. That's just what Citadel calls them, but speed paints, I think, is like the preferred term, I think, from the community. Speed paints get a bad rap. There's nothing wrong with speed paints. I love them. Recently did a video on speed paints. They do need to be used in the right circumstances. So for me, I use them specifically for like washing and doing retinting a color. This is generally what I use my speed paints for. And I love them. Makes it super easy, super fast. Good news is that I got 2 days off in a row, so I'm going to be Minecrafting for a good bit. Nice, dude. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the party. Bang.20 Battletech mechs for commission in 3 hours, just tabletop ready. Nice, dude. Yeah, it's hard to, like, the thing is, like, if you're going for, like, just quick, looks amazing, you know, you can't beat them. You really can't. You can't beat them. Personally, I just love painting with Vallejo so much, though. I feel like I'm cheating on it whenever I paint with speed paints too much. You know? A little bit of water.
What did you want, baby? What? Dude, Vallejo is so nice. Just one sec, guys. Okay. What's up, Asylum Seer? Welcome back. But yeah, Acrylic's new game range is insane. Their game color. It's so nice. It's what I'm using right now. I won't use too much of it, though. That's okay. We'll just wipe it off. There we go. It's a better blend. Yeah, dude, I'll catch you later. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. And thank you for the rose.
Silence here. How you been? How you been, dude? Figure's looking rather dashing this evening. Thank you. Well, great today. Actually, I got my truck today. I could not be happier about. Nice. What truck did you get? I'm doing pretty good. Hanging out with you guys. You guys, what could be better than that, you know? Yeah, what truck? Tell me about your truck, boy. Nice, dude. Chevy Silverado. How many miles on it, dude? If you don't mind me asking. It's my old man's truck. He's letting me buy it and get a kickstart with saving for all the repairs. Nice, dude. You like Army Painter better? Army Painter makes a good paint. There's no doubt, especially their new Fanatic range. That's a great paint, dude. There's nothing better than an old man truck, okay? There's nothing better than an old man's truck. Because you know he babied that thing. $200,000? Damn. If he took care of it though, you're still set. I had my friend. He had a 2006 Chevy Silverado, and I think he put 350,000 miles on it. It was still running. He was just like, I think it's time to upgrade. I was like, I think you're right. But yeah, if it was taken care of, it'll last. It'll last forever. The Chevys are nothing to scoff at. So in the mid tier for mileage, but it's still running like a champ. Oh, this was like another one of his children. Yeah, you're dude. That thing's cherry, dude. The thing about old men truck, right? Old men's trucks is like that's their thing, right? Like, honey, I gotta go take the truck in. Like that's what they look forward to doing, you know? Like I want to be old with a Chevy or a Ford, just being like, oh yeah, sorry, hon, I gotta go take the truck in. You know, it's going to be that time. Gotta do that maintenance. Can I have a puppy? No. Okay. Okay. Whatever you're willing to give me. My spoiled brat. Don't hate me, you know you're spoiled. Yeah, and working on it, not to mention detailing it. Yeah. Now the dream is to get an old man truck, dude, every time.
Working on a truck that's gonna last.
Oh, thank you for the follow.
What's up, Chud? Welcome to the party, buddy. How you doing today, Chud? Can't follow and not say hi, dude. That's the rule around here, around these parts, Chud. Thank you, my dear.
Huh?
Of course you can. No.
Hey, Judd.
Welcome in, buddy. I like saying your name, so we're going to talk a lot. Excuse me. Nice try. Nice try.
Judd. So tough. What's up, duper?
All right, so far we got the leggies done. See the difference? Let's compare.
So all it is about really pushing the values just a little bit further. Honestly, this light is a little too powerful, so it kind of washes out the color a little bit. That's kind of more accurate to what it actually is. But the camera won't focus if it's not bright, so that's where we're at. That is where we're at. So tough. Hey, Woman. Did you bring me a ginger lime because you know I hate ginger?
I mean, I'm a ginger, but you brought me ginger lime, dude. Thinking I wouldn't notice.
It's just malicious. You know? Paint a little belly. Just gonna paint a little belly on a little fat belly. More gargantuan belly. I think it keeps filtering you. Oh no, dude. I'm trying to say my dream truck is the original 1989 square body. Ooh.
Dude, that's a good choice. I want the Fox body. I think it's the 92. I think 92 was the first Fox body. Or no, maybe it was. Maybe it's somewhere around there, but I want the Fox body of the Fox body Mustang. Oh, what I wouldn't give. Fox body Mustang. Shut up. You know what I'm saying, dude? Shut up. They just made cars better back then. Like, maybe not better, but they just were more interesting. They were more attractive. They had character. They were interesting, you know? Do they run better? Probably not. But, like, the globalization had destroyed all character from all cars. It's sad. Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Ooh, boy. That's a good-looking car, too. That is a good-looking car. I know we're talking cars here, but we can also talk about Warhammer. You can ask me questions on what I'm doing and how and why and what's it for. Any and all, okay? This is Patty paints, but also Patty just talks about random stuff too. All right. So I dress the way I do, and I like the vintage stuff. Yeah. You know what? The problem is I wouldn't want to dress like this every day, but I want to go back to like the classy, like, you know, pre-60s. Well, I guess it was still in the 60s, But like everyone wearing like a hat and tie and nice suit, just looking classy out there in the streets. I feel like there's just too many sweatpants out there. I mean, I'm just as bad. I wear sweatpants all the time. Don't get me wrong, right? But what a vibe, you know? Like, oh, I have to go to the grocery store. Let me put my suit on real quick. What a vibe. Smoking the Bandit, nice. I dress like I'm from the South, cowboy hat and all. Nice, dude. See, that's a style. That's a style that I would like to wear, but I feel like if someone checked me, I would like it would fall apart pretty quick. You know, like someone's like, "You ain't no cowboy." I'd be like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'll go take it off. That's my bad, dude." I'm sure no one would ever say anything. They'd just be like, "Oh." But I just don't. I don't think I could pull it off. You know. Oh, thank you for the likes. It's not about the likes, bro. It's about the confidence. True. That is true. People tell me that all the time. I just look at them and say I never claimed to be one. He said that. That's fair. I do think it's a really classy way of dressing. You know? Me, I dress like a filthy construction worker most days. Just a filthy animal. Because I'm not talking smack. I am a construction worker. I'm not an electrician. So if you have any electrical questions, hit me up. I can also answer those. I'm a journeyman commercial superintendent. Electrician. It's all right, pays the bills. Definitely not my passion, but got to be good at something to pay the bills. I wish it was this. Doing this would be way more fun. Maybe one day. You know? Maybe one day. It is. It's a classy look because it's still I think anything nowadays that looks like you put any amount of thought into looks good. Like even like honestly, a really cool style is like cholos, you know, like batos, foos. I have mad respect for that because it looks like it's always like really well thought out. I see a couple of those pop up on my feed, and every time I'm like, man, that looks good. I can't dress like that. I wouldn't dress like that, but I'm just saying, like, it's really cool. I feel like anytime you dress like you had a reason to be somewhere or a reason to do something, it just looks good, man. But yeah, I would like to dress, like I was thinking about this the other day, like, because I need to update my wardrobe. It's been a minute, right? I was just thinking, I was like, I just want to wear like nice, classy, neutral, old school. Like I want to do like an old school money style. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that is, like fleeces. I guess a lot of fleeces. Some old school style money. I mean, I don't have money, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be cool. That'd be cool style. If I can't be wealthy, at least I'll dress it. You know? Just like classy money, my grandpa used to say. Exactly, dude. The thing about like classy money is it's not very like showy, you know? I feel like I could pull it off well. Called him Papa. I called my grandpa Pop. So we're on the same wavelength there. What I realize is these guys don't have belly buttons. Just realized that now. It's kind of creepy. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of rushing the skin. Trying to do it fast. Call my old man Pops or call my grandpa Papa. Yeah, you're allowed to. You're allowed to wear cowboy clothes, dude. If that's what you're calling your elders. That tracks. That 100% tracks. If there's one man I could bring back alive, that would be my grandpa. You know the guy that you call when you have like any kind of problem? You know? He was my guy, you know? Any problem, boom. Call him up, boom. Hey Pat, my boy. What do you need, son? What can I help you with? Oh, I know a guy. Oh yeah, I'll give you his number. He'll help you out. He's a good guy. He'll give you a good deal. You know, that's what I, you know? Oh, looks nice with a pew pew and my crocodile Dundee. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, right? That old man. You know what I hate about, as a young kid, I always was just like, shut up, Grandpa. You're old. You don't understand the world. Like, I understand the world way better. He was right. about everything. He was right about everything. Sweet old man was right about everything. He tried to warn me, tried to help me out, and I was too stubborn to listen, you know? But that's, you know, that's the vanity of youth, right? That's the whole thing. It's about growing up and you realize, oh shit, they were right, you know? Yeah, I kicked myself for not listening on more. Because every year that goes by, I learn something where he tried to teach it to me. I was just too stupid to listen. Just too stupid to listen. Too prideful. But I'm getting there, brother. Have a great stream. I shall return as always. For sure, dude. Thanks for stopping by, dude. That was a fun chat. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, dude. The Big Mech Brush. It's a sick name. How you doing, partner? I'm gonna paint a little face right now, so that's what we're doing. Painting the face. I just realized he has a gray beard. I'm gonna have to fix that. Whoops, too much. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. I sure do appreciate it. Sure do appreciate it, guys. You're just joining in, we're just punching up the face a little bit more, you know? Give it more, hey, how you doing? Just making the skin pop a little bit more here and there, wherever we can. Make it read more realistic. That's what we're going for, right? Trying to paint everything to look real. That's my goal. But like it's a hard goal. It really is. It's not easy to paint things to look real. That's the challenge. You can paint things that look like there's certain styles that look really good. I'm not talking smack on any style. Personally, I think going for maximum realism is the coolest way to paint, in my opinion. Again, that's just my humble opinion. Trying to max out as realistic as we can make this guy look. Also trying not to take forever and trying to do it pretty quick here. It's easy when the model's big like this too. You know? Okay, we are gonna do some contrast paint. Real thin coat of gray contrast paint on his beard. Make his beard look more beardy. You know? I added too much water. There we go. There we go. Old man's got to have the dark before the light. So you make your hair look really good as you make sure the recesses are super saturated in shadow. Whatever your deep shadow is. Just make sure to really saturate it. So you make your hair look super thick and voluptuous and real. Voluptuous. There you go. You got your mustache now, buddy. You're off to the races, partner. No. Ah. Citadel bottle. I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. I swear they make them, they're designed to do that. They're designed to spill, guys. You saw it here first. It's designed that way. From the factory, they want you to spill it so you have to buy more. I know it. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. That's what they want you to do. That's why they make them so easy to spill. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. So I went really heavy-handed with that gray, but you'll see when I dry brush it with white, it's going to really pop out. So, anyways, that's where we're going to end it today. Doing a little skin comparison of the two different minis. But yeah, that's where we're going to end it. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, guys. And if you want to support me, you can check out the link in my bio to a little place that starts with a P. And if you help me there, I can help you in more ways than just streaming. Yeah, Shinavari, I hope you enjoy your Minecraft sesh and your days off. But thank you so much, guys, for coming out and hanging out with me. And you can always just follow and come hang out again. So, catch you guys later. Bye-bye now. Love you, bye. Love you, bye. Love you, bye. Love you, bye. Later, buddy.